In this module, we are going to explore the way in which you can heal a heart from all the diseases that we have seen so far. To do this, we are going to focus on four main themes that we are going to be addressing throughout each of these sections that we are going to be working on here. First of all, you are going to discover what causes you to feel that physical and psychic pain that manifests in your chest. I am referring to what your current partner or ex-partner is doing at this moment, which leads you to feel in your chest each of the heart diseases that we have seen here. For example, it makes you feel like someone is stabbing your heart. This is very important because it will allow you to recognize in the first stages in which that pain in your chest manifests the type of disease you are suffering from. And therefore, you will be able to heal yourself from a problem like this much faster than if you did it without this knowledge, because you will neutralize the problem before it gets worse, with which, as you can see, your entire psychic system will be strengthened. The second thing you are going to discover here is why your partner subjects you to such a trauma. That is to say, what are his motivations and his psychological problems which lead him to hurt you in this way and to generate that pain that manifests as a disease of your psychic heart, which is very important because it will allow you to evaluate your potential partners more quickly, or if they are important to you, to flow with those people so that they do not hurt you. Third, you are going to learn to recognize when someone might be about to hurt your heart. This is very important because it is what will allow you to get ahead in the event that one of your partners, present or future, threatens to damage your heart in the way that you have experienced so far. You will have the ability to walk away from a situation like that and therefore never suffer again from it. And fourth, let's explore the best treatments depending on the psychic heart disease you have developed. This is very important because it will allow you to activate the cure much more quickly to counteract any harmful effect that an emotional trauma of this type may cause in you. Now, what we are going to see specifically in each section. In the case of a heart that breaks, you will learn to recognize the parts into which your heart is divided. And in what phase of that breakup have you found yourself in the moments in which you have suffered an illness of this type? Based on that, you will learn that the best treatment is to unite the broken parts. And thanks to that, I am going to show you a shortcut that you can take in case your heart has been broken into many pieces, so that even under those circumstances, you can heal it completely. In the case of a heart that is stabbed, you will discover that the best treatment is to discover and close the specific wound that causes you to feel that pain in your chest. A wound that is always associated with the betrayal that you are experiencing from a person who, until very recently, before the psychic trauma that you are experiencing occurred, was very important to you. So here, we are going to focus on helping you recognize the wound and close it for yourself. Therefore, your recovery process for a case of this type will be practically instantaneous. In the case of a heart that is beaten, as I told you before, you are going to discover what your partner does, in particular, to make you feel in your heart that effect as if someone hit you very hard. That is why it is very important that, associated with this, you can learn to recognize when someone could hit your heart so that you can get away from a situation like that before the blow occurs. And given that entire frame of reference, I am going to show you the best treatment for a blow of this type, when the blow has occurred. Here, we are going to work on the technique of psychic dissolution, which will allow you to limit the effect of the blows that your heart receives even when they occur. In the case of a heart that fades, you will learn that the best treatment for a case of this type is to dissociate yourself from what your ex-partner thinks about you, because that is what makes your heart want to disappear. Because it is yourself who wants to do it so as not to continue being humiliated by that person who hurt you, but also by that people who live in your social environment. This is important because by recovering from a trauma of this type, you will be able to turn on your light, even under circumstances in which others could try to hurt you. What will act precisely as a repellent for those types of people who only approach you with the objective to harm you. And in the case of a heart that disappears or that you no longer feel it, we are going to explore the cause that generates this effect in your chest, which, as you are going to discover in that specific section, is always associated with a process of constant disappointment on the part of the person in whom you have placed all your hopes, at least on a romantic or emotional level. The second thing we are going to see here is why you cannot leave a relationship of this type, one in which they are constantly letting you down. And finally, given this frame of reference, I am going to show you the best treatment for a case of this type, which is always associated with being able to strengthen your self-confidence. With this, you now have an overview of what we are going to be working on here. So I'll see you in the corresponding sections.